Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sharon and I do reviews for TV shows and I'm starting to do movies as well. If you've not seen it, I have just reviewed Captain America Brave New World, which I have literally just got back from seeing at Cineworld. So if you're interested in watching that, please go ahead and click the review. But today we are wondering, what is ScreenX? Because I had never heard of this until fairly recently. And so what did I do? I went to go see Captain America Brave New World at the ScreenX in the O2, or the Millennium Dome as some people like to call it. So what is ScreenX? What exactly is it? ScreenX is a 270-degree screen at a cinema. So you have a screen at the front, a screen at one side and the other side. So you get to, it's almost like you're watching it in 3D but without the glasses. That's kind of how it's marketed. But I'm here to tell you if it's any good. Because I'd never heard of this before this month of February in 2025. I thought, well, if I'm going to go watch a new movie, an action film like that, what better time to go watch ScreenX? So ScreenX, this is what it looks like inside the screen. Obviously I didn't take video footage of the movie because that's not allowed, but I was just like, right, I'm gonna get a quick capture of the credits. So as you can see, there's a screen at the front, a screen at the side, and the other wall is black, but there was stuff there, I just missed it. ScreenX is exclusive to Cineworld in the UK. They're the only cinema that has it, and they have 20 cinemas that do it in the UK. I will put them all on screen so you can see if there is any local to you. But is it worth going to see them? Is it just a gimmick like 3D was? Because you rarely see 3D films these days. There are some, but it's not a big of a deal as it was about 10 to 15 years ago. So what did I think of it? I thought it was just okay. I kind of expected a little bit more and a little bit better, but it all depends on whether the film was filmed with 270 degrees in mind or whether it was done in post-production afterwards. It's a bit like transitioning from 4:3 TVs to widescreen TVs back in the day. If anybody of you is old enough to remember that, you will remember that you could change the aspect ratio on your TV to suit all the different styles. So you could either watch it in 4:3, you could stretch it, or you could crop it, or do a bit of both for the best of both worlds. Now ScreenX, I think it had a bit of both. I don't think it was shot with 270 degrees in mind, but I'm not 100% certain of that because I've not seen it in regular cinema. I was watching some of the scenes and I felt like it was a bit too close. Instead of being like that, it was a bit like this, and then at one point in the screen where they had one person talking to another person, their heads, it was chopped off a bit. So just imagine, zoom in here, they kind of chopped some heads off once. It was just the once though. So I think what they did was they cropped some of the footage to fit it in a much wider viewing area. Also, the screens at the side. For Captain America, it wasn't there throughout the whole film. It was mostly there throughout action sequences and bits where you think it would look amazing to have. For more intimate scenes in buildings, talking between friends, they didn't have it, and to be honest, it wasn't needed. It does, because I was worried that I was just going to feel really overwhelmed with everything being all around me all at once for the whole film, and it wasn't like that. There was a few times where I thought, they've not had the screen on in a while. Is it working? Is it broken? And then there was another scene and I was like, okay, it's back. I'm not sure if it's something to do with that particular film because I know they had reshoots. So I'm not sure if it was anything to do with that or if it was just the fact that they thought it wasn't needed for that film. Another downside of the 270 degrees is that the screens on the side, if you looked at them, if you turned your head and looked at those screens, you couldn't focus on them. They were slightly designed to be out of focus and also as further back in the cinema you go, the stretchier the screen got. You can tell that they stretched it a little bit to reach the back of the cinema screen, because it reached all the way around to almost the back rows. So it's not designed for you to turn your head to watch it. It is designed for you to feel immersed in the action. It's not designed for you to go like this, because just imagine you're looking over there, but then the action was happening over there. You'll miss it. So that's what it's designed to be. It's not designed to make you go, oh, look at all of this. It's designed to make you feel like you are flying through the air with Captain America. That is what it's designed for you to do. And some of those parts were really good. Another downside for Screen X is that the sides are slightly blurry. And now I think that is intentional, because you're not supposed to be looking at those screens. They are supposed to just surround you to feel like you're part of the movie. And there were times when there was a scene had writing and you were surrounded by stuff and you wanted to look at it, but you couldn't because it was slightly out of focus. And then there were other times when there was a character to the left side of the screen, had Anthony Mackie right in front, and then another character right next to him, and I feel like it was supposed to get a two-shot, and yet he was off blurry, but he was moving, slightly swaying side to side, and it was quite distracting. So I don't know if that was done very well, but other than that, there weren't very many instances where the 270-degree experience felt disappointing, really. So I feel like it's mostly done well. Would I go to see Screen X? Probably not, only because I prefer the reclining seats at that particular cinema over having the 270-degree experience. But that's not to say that I would never go see Screen X if there's a particular film that I think would work well. Is it worth the money? That is another question. So for me, a cinema ticket to the O2 in the Millennium Dome is about $16.99, I think. A Screen X ticket is $20.99, so that's an extra £4 per ticket. So it's basically adding on like the extra surcharge like you did for 3D. So is it worth the extra £4 in price? For me, to experience it once, I'm glad I did it, because it was a nice experience to have. There were times when it really added to the theatre experience, but it's up to you. If you think it's worth the extra £4 to go, pay the £4, get a new experience and see what Cineworld is doing to try and bring people back to the cinema, because we all know cinemas have been struggling lately and they're trying to do everything that they can do to get us through the doors, and that includes this as well. Well, until next time, go explore my channel where I've got reviews and reactions, and I will see you soon. Bye!